Hello and welcome to the Promised Land, a special edition from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Scott Saunders, joined by Rob Blanchette. First time we're doing this in person. How you finding it, Rob?
A proper in-person human being edition here of the Promised Land in Las Vegas. And it's a fantastic place. How are you finding it, Scott?
I'm really hot. We're recording just outside Fremont Street, or just on Fremont Street. And we were in the shade when we started recording, and now we're in the blazing hot sun. 44 degrees, I think it is, in UK Celsius money. But yes, apologies if you're listening on audio. This, I don't know, might be patching it together a little bit because we're doing this on the fly a little bit, Rob. But yeah, we thought Las Vegas, we had to bring you something, didn't we? And especially off the back of some news that we've heard this morning, our time.
Indeed.
Rasmus Hojlund is on his way to Manchester United. They have agreed a deal with Atalanta, and we'll be talking about that, talking about the value of the deal, and looking ahead a little bit to the rest of the time here as well. Big thanks to the guys at UnitedCon as well. Adam and Fraser done a great job so far organising this event. It's been really, really fun. A couple of days left to go yet, and we'll be at United versus Dortmund in their pre-season friendly, which is coming up as well. Rob, how are you finding it?
The actual tour, or
the UnitedCon? Let's do UnitedCon.
Oh look, UnitedCon's fantastic. You know, it's great to see all the legends here of our football club, and it was just a really nice, pleasant night to see all these world supporters come together in a very unique venue. And of course, here we are on tour with the club, and as we're just saying here now, talking about some genuine breaking news as it happens.
Yes, we'll be talking about Rasmus Hojlund in a little bit, and just like to apologise again if you're hearing background noise. We can't do anything about it, but let's talk plugs. Let's talk plugs. Follow us on the socials at @Scott Saunders, @_Rob_B, and @PromiseLand MU for the show as well. But Rob, a deal has been agreed for Rasmus Hojlund, Atalanta striker, 20 years old, a lot of money. Now we've heard the final fee. It could be, I think it's what? We thought it'd be about 60 million euros, right?
Yeah.
It's gone up to 70 million.
Yeah.
And then add-ons on top, which are taking it to around, I think it's even about 85 million euros all in if the add-ons come off.
Yes.
Is that too much money?
No, I don't think it is. I don't know if I just take every transfer now and think £52 million for Fred, let's work from that number. I think with Rasmus Hojlund, there's no doubt about it, not the finished article, a good young player, but how many goals did we say he scored in Serie A last year?
9.
9 goals last season. You are buying potential. That's how you're looking at this. And you're not buying Harry Kane. So you're not buying proven here, but you're bringing in a player that you need, someone that can play the number 9, that can play the false 9, and play your system. And I think we'll see this again with the Dortmund game upcoming, what Manchester United are going to do under Erik ten Hag.
Watching pre-season so far, United, it's just been so obvious that they're a little bit toothless in the final third. Obviously, Anthony Martial's been injured. He's back in training with the team in San Diego today, as we've seen this morning. But he's never really been the answer, has he? Like, I think that Anthony Martial potential story at 27 years old, or however old he is now, I think that's over. He's in the last year of his deal. United have been playing Marcus Rashford through the middle, trying a lot of different options. We know that doesn't work really, and Marcus is best out on the left. So they did need a striker. And this will be the third signing of the summer. Goalkeeper, Mason Mount in central midfield, and a striker, which is strengthening the core even well before the Premier League has started. Kudos.
A little bit of kudos, a little bit. Like maybe this is what football clubs should do, is actually bring their players in before the season starts. But we know Manchester United haven't always done that. But there's no doubt that games we've seen in pre-season and stuff we've known from last year, you know, Marcus Rashford is not a number 9. Anthony Martial, I think I quipped before as I was speaking that he might be blowing his hamstring up as I speak. So you've got to go and buy someone that's young and that's fresh and that's hungry for the challenge. Rasmus Hojlund is a Manchester United fan. There's no doubt that as soon as he knew about this deal, he wanted to come. And it was just a case, I think, here and now finding those extra dollars that his football club wanted and needed. It seems like they've got some of that. But I also don't think that Manchester United will feel that they've massively overpaid in the first instance with the initial fee.
I think what United's logic is here is you could give him another year at Atalanta if he starts games. And we have pointed this out too. He was only signed last summer, and I think they're paying like 4 times the price that Atalanta paid for him like a year ago, which is, on the face of it, a hell of a lot considering he's only scored 9 Serie A goals last season. But if you give it another year and he scores another 20, you're looking at double the price that they're paying now. Look at Victor Osimhen, for example. I know he's been doing it for years in Serie A, and he's just fired Napoli to the title and that kind of thing, but you're looking at 150 million euros to get him out. He's had a few good years, but Atalanta, with the potential, if he has a season like that, could be asking similar prices. So I think United have just looked at this and thought, right, we like this guy, we like his attributes, we know he's a little bit raw, but we feel like this is worth the gamble now.
If he scores 10 goals in the first 25 games of the season, we will never be talking about the price again. We just will not be. And I think there's a bigger picture here to look at, is that you need someone that can play the 9. And it's as basic as that now. It's a needs must. You've got to go and get some kind of striker. So if you're not going to buy one of the elites, Kane, Osimhen, someone like that, you're shopping in the next tier. And I think that's where Hojlund sits. I think Hojlund would be going to another football club, Scott. Say he'd ended up at Chelsea or an Arsenal or someone like that. I think there might be some less debate about, are you buying the right kind of potential? It's not the kind of signing Man United have made over many, many seasons, but I do think there's a guy you can develop. Give him time, take the pressure off him, but we do know at Manchester United the pressure is on from the first minute.
Is this the first time that United have signed a striker under the age? Well, I think they signed Romelu Lukaku, who was about 25-ish a good few years ago, but over the last few years has been Cavani, Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, all 30 plus.
Yeah.
Odion Ighalo signed, I think he was in his 20s when he signed, but God, man. At least now, we've known United have needed a long-term striker for a while. There's no guarantee this will work, but at least they have a player that they can work with, and you trust in Erik ten Hag, really, that the fact that he's improved, or shown over the last year that he can improve a lot of players in this team and get them playing towards their best potential, really gives some promise and some trust in the fact that, I know United are paying a lot of money for this player, but he knows what he's after, and Ten Hag has looked at this player and thought, no, I think he can work. And he has the bare essentials, doesn't he, I think?
Of course, and two things about that. You know, we've said it a lot and it's become a little bit of a catchphrase. This is an Erik ten Hag signing. This is the kind of striker he wants, idealistically, and someone that he can develop. Not a striker with old bad habits, or a striker that says, well, I'm only going to run this channel, I'm not going to press, which is the classic one at Manchester United. And I think you can do this with being more relaxed, but also demanding the standards. So Rasmus Hojlund knows that a move to Manchester United, he knows all about the football club as he loves it himself already, that this is a big move for him, that he's going to have to perform at a new level. But you know what, Scott? Is that a bad thing? That they actually come to the football club and that it's a challenge for him? So, as I said, you're shopping in that marketplace. Don't get too hung up about it, not because it's too high, don't get too low, don't put too much pressure on the lad. But I do think that he's the right signing at the right time.
We talk about lots of money, but I would also say that what I think United have managed to do, I mentioned Ronaldo there and those kinds of players like Ibrahimovic, these kinds of guys who have come in over the last few years and they have this reputation, you know, they're very much in it to promote themselves, and that's not a bad thing. You know, Ibrahimovic, I think he had a great year at United, but obviously the story was a lot about him. What Ten Hag wants is a player who just get his head down and absolutely work to the bone, and I think Hojlund will do that. I know he's coming in for a lot of money, but he doesn't strike you as the type of personality really to just come in and say, hey look, I'm playing for Man United now, I'm getting paid loads of money, I'm just worth all this money. He's coming in to prove himself, and that is essential for me.
Well, Manchester United make stars but don't buy them is a little bit of a fallacy going back over time, but that's really what we want. We really want to see a player come in and take the opportunity, don't we? And I think with Hojlund, we don't expect that on day one he's going to be the finished product, of course not, but he'll have time to grow into that role. And you know, I know everyone gets obsessed with the Haalands of the world and that this is the way it has to be, a striker that scores you 1 million goals a season. For me as a fan as well, I just want to see Manchester United be functional at the top end of the pitch, and that you're not relying on old money and old ways of scoring goals at Manchester United. That's what Erik ten Hag wants, a little bit of innovation, but working hard from the top is absolutely the first key component, and Hojlund will do that on day one.
Big shout out about Weghorst as well. I just missed him out of that list of strikers that I just reeled off. Hopefully he can do better than he's got 1 or 2 goals.
2, I think it was.
Was it 2?
I think it was 2 in the end, yeah. Cup goal and 1 in the league, wasn't it?
Did he get one in the... I can't remember. If you remember, let us know in the comments section. Get in touch with us on the socials as well, at _Scott Saunders, at _Rob_B, and at Promise and MU for the show as well. Also follow us on like Instagram and that kind of stuff, _Scott Saunders for me. Rob, we need to get you on that because there's so much video. This place is so spectacular and large that you just need to show it off.
Well, come find me on YouTube. I've got my YouTube channel to start off with. Lots of video on YouTube, Scott. So, at _Rob_B, also on YouTube and on Twitter, and you can find extra content from me there.
Yes, we'll be here for another couple of days. Will we do another show? I don't know. Maybe something.
I think so.
This one's going to be quite a quick one, just because we know that we missed the Friday show. We usually deliver Tuesdays and Fridays. We know we missed that, but we were traveling, getting to grips with Vegas, all this kind of stuff, so we hope you understand. Apologies for that, but this is a great event, honestly. It's been amazing so far. There's fans from all over the US, from all over the world. We met a fan group from Dallas, Texas.
Yes, yeah.
All dotted all over the US, and I think we haven't even seen everyone who's going to come turn up to this yet. So big shout out to the guys who've organised this. Been a great time so far, and what a place to do it in. Should we just look at the games ahead? I think this is United's last game on pre-season against Dortmund.
Yeah.
On the tour anyway, which is on Sunday night our time. Rob and I will both be there.
Yeah.
And on Instagram as well. I think you should be able to get me. I might be touch side or pitch side doing some videos as well. So make sure you get over there and follow the 90min_football channels as well. Rob and Harry be in the press box. Harry's doing Dortmund. Rob will do United. But what have you made of pre-season so far, just in general? Because we haven't spoken since they lost to Real Madrid either.
Well, look, from the statty side of it, I think the interesting thing is that Erik ten Hag seems to be wanting to go with 4-2-3-1. Was a little bit of 4-1-5 the other day with Casemiro back, so we might see some more of that. But now I think we're kind of thinking in a different way, aren't we? We're thinking, what's he going to use with Hojlund? How is he going to go forward with this? I think he might go back to the 4-1-5. I can see Hojlund being very, very useful for that, allowing Rashford and obviously Anthony, maybe some Bruno Fernandes running off him. So I think it's one of those things with pre-season, isn't it? It's there to experiment, it's there to see and do things that you probably won't do in the Premier League. But we know with Erik ten Hag, repetition means everything, and he's already putting, I think, placeholders in place in the positions that even like you see a bit of Heaton, you're thinking Onana, aren't you? And I think whoever plays number 9 against Dortmund, we're all going to be imagining Hojlund in that position.
On Onana, we saw him play the other day. Please, a request from me, every goal he concedes, please don't say De Gea would have saved that. It's going to get very tiring, very boring. But I think what you saw in Onana the other day was a lot more confidence that United will be able to play out from the back, even changes just straight off the bat. So really looking forward to seeing that happening. Rasmus Hojlund won't be participating unless it's some kind of miracle in the game against Dortmund. But I think when United return back to Europe, you can start to see him integrated, and maybe he won't be in there straight away, leaned on immediately, because he's still 20 years old. But I think this one is he can transition into the team, and if he just gets used to the way things run, works really hard, I think we got a good player.
Cool, yeah, definitely. I think, look, let him have his 5 minutes in the sun. It's a huge transfer for him. I'm sure he'll be feeling all sorts of emotions around this, coming to the football club that he loves. But I do think in terms of like building it into the squad now, into the Premier League in the first few weeks of the season, there isn't that all-encompassing pressure on him. I really don't believe that, and I think Ten Hag will be saying that to him. Come and do your work, get fit, get Premier League ready, and run with it, and let's see what we can do. We've got a good squad, Scott, in the sense that it's very integrated. Everyone there's some leadership there now, some elder statesmen, brand new captain. We are moving on from the old guard. Bringing in a new guard type of striker, I think it's essential, and it's the right time.
Short one for you today, but we'll wrap it there because I am absolutely boiling. I'm wearing a black t-shirt in the blaring sun at 12:30, and I am absolutely boiling. So we're going to wrap it there, but we'll be back soon to talk more Rasmus Hojlund, to talk more Manchester United, to talk more The Promised Land podcast. Follow us all on the socials. I've done that way too many times. Just skip back through if you're on the social channels to come follow us on. That's been from myself and Rob in Vegas. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we shut up?
No, fine. Looking forward to the rest of United. Connors, we're here. Looking forward also to seeing Brian Robson at the end of the weekend. Loads of legends there last night, so that was a nice schmoozing event with it, to chat and kind of take photos with people and talk to fans. But we've got the Dortmund game to come, and that's going to be, I think, the cherry on the cake as far as the end of the trip, and then we can get down to the serious business with the Premier League.
That's it from us. Special episode of The Promised Land today from Las Vegas, Nevada, on Fremont Street. We'll see you soon, everyone. Thanks for listening. Leave a comment for us as well, and we'll be back soon. We'll hopefully pick them up on the socials and in the next episode. But thank you so much for sticking with us. Sorry we missed you on Friday, and sorry this one's a bit short, but I'm sure you can understand the circumstances. See you soon.